Welcome back to Audibles and Airballs, episode 78. I'm Taylor, your host. We got Sam and Steve on the other end talking football, basketball, a little bit of Olympics here and there. But we'll get right into some NFL off-season news. Tyreek Hill just got released.
Yeah, that's such a tough spot for an older player after just a terrible knee injury. But I think the good part for him is he's still going to be fast when he gets done with his rehab and everything. So I think someone's going to pick him up. He's a big name. The thing that sucks is I think it might be the Chiefs. And I really don't want to have to see Tyreek Hill again, even if he's, 32 years old now. He's still like haunts my dreams for the couple years where him and Mahomes just ran the AFC West. So I really don't want him to go back there. I think it's probably practical that he goes back there, but I don't know. He's probably a plug and play player at this point, not necessarily a number one.
Do you think if he goes back to the Chiefs, that's it for Xavier Worthy, though?
I don't know what's going on. I mean, Xavier Worthy had a big splash start to his career, right? But after that, I mean, I don't think the Chiefs have a wide receiver right now that they aren't okay with getting rid of or moving on from. Like, do they have a wide receiver that they're gonna it's gonna pain them to trade or move on from?
I don't think so.
I mean, obviously you have some young guys and you don't want to get rid of those guys right away, but there's, as far as like a number one receiver, even a speed guy. I mean, they have Xavier Worthy. They have quite a few speed guys actually, but they haven't. You look at their draft classes recently, they were trying to get, in my opinion, it seems like they were trying to strike gold with a Tyreek Hill again because they went with Sky Moore. Now Sky Moore is on the
Niners, right?
Niners,
Somewhere, I don't know. All
somewhere
he does is
not with the
basically
Chiefs.
return punts and kicks.
Then they tried to go Xavier Worthy, and I think he had a really good start to his career, and then it just kind of fizzled out after that first game. That he had that end around, and then I think he had 2 touchdowns his first game.
Yeah, and I know he had the injury that probably didn't help his year, but
No, but I don't know. It's just tough because a Tyreek Hill type player, like I was telling you guys earlier, like if he's coming to the Broncos, I'm not super thrilled because we need a number one, especially because I saw a freaking Instagram post that implies that Cortland Sutton's gone.
yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was kind of weird.
He said it's been great or chapter closed or something like that.
Yeah.
Something that implied he was leaving. And so, but anyways, if Tyreek Hill's our replacement, I feel like that he would be a good addition to a team that already has good wide receiving core. I think you wouldn't want to add him, like if you're desperate for a wide receiver one, like the Bills or the Broncos, if Cortland Sutton leaves, like you wouldn't want to pick up Tyreek Hill as a number one because I just don't know that he still has that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no.
and you probably want, like, the type of play, he opens up a back end, lifts the top off a defense, but you still need a player like a Cortland Sutton if you're another team that the big physical style. Like you need both offsets.
Yes, you need someone who can go win, contested catches, a guy who's a threat on third down. I mean, you need a guy who you can rely on more than just like, yeah, blowing the top off a defense. So I think he's going to get paid all right. But honestly, what do you think at 32 years old, what is he going to get paid? I mean,
I still think he'll make a decent chunk, but I don't think any team's gonna give him more than a year.
right.
I think that's what it is. I think that the compromise is gonna be like, we'll pay you, but I think it's gonna be like, here's a year contract, or maybe 2 years, but it's not gonna be a a very long contract. But I could see it being, I don't know, 15.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
could see him also going somewhere where there's a contender and he just wants to make a Super Bowl kind of run kind of thing. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
like I've heard the Bills thrown around. I think that'd be a terrible landing spot for him because they don't really have a one. They haven't really had a one since Diggs was there, and I don't know
yeah,
how much.
and
I
they
don't know
have
how
those.
much a
Go on.
Tyreek Hill type would help that offense. But I have also heard the Cowboys, which I think would be really interesting because you have CeeDee Lamb, and I know we were talking before about what's going to happen with George Pickens. Are they going to keep him? I think they're going to move on from George Pickens. But can you imagine if they had a three-headed monster of Tyreek Hill, George Pickens, and CeeDee Lamb? I mean, 2 years ago you would have said that's a cheat code, you know. And after the season that George Pickens had last year, I would imagine he moves on, and Dallas moves him, but I'm not certain. I think that would be interesting, but they're definitely not a contender like you were just talking about, Taylor.
Yeah, I think they can't pay all three. So I
No,
think Pickens is gonna go, or he's gonna get tagged. I don't know.
I I think one that I saw was the Lions, which I think is super interesting if they can afford it, because the Lions actually have a really good receiving core. They have a lot of threats, but I don't know how he fits into that system because you already have Jamison Williams, and so how would Tyreek Hill fit that system? So I don't know. It's just
It's the old NBA argument. There's only one ball, man.
yeah,
You
and
got
when you
Amon
have
Ra getting 10 targets. You got Jamison Williams getting 6. You TJ Hawkins, or not TJ Hawkins, and Sam Laporta.
yeah, not to mention you have both running backs, David Montgomery and
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs, and Jameer Gibbs demands targets out of the backfield. So I don't know. I think most realistically it'll be the Chiefs, but I just don't want to see him come back. Even if he's older and coming off an injury, he he destroyed the Broncos for too long. So I just want to see him out
Speaking
of
of
this
him,
division.
him destroying the Broncos, Mahomes just restructured his deal, freeing up about 40 mil in cap space, which could be a landing spot for him. But
They're clearly up to something. You don't just do that just to do it. Like, you clearly have a plan in place to do something with that said money that I would imagine Mahomes signed off on as well. So I don't know what they're up to, but I would imagine it's either offensive line help or weapons help for Mahomes.
The cap makes no sense to me. I mean, I get that they moved some stuff around so that they got $40 million free here, but the fact that his contract, in my opinion, like I don't understand the cap at all, but from my understanding, his total contract does not change. So that means that this cap hit is going to happen later in his career. So they're trying to win now, which I agree with you. But does it just screw them 5 years down the line when they have to eat up that $40 million?
so I did a little research, and for example, if a team restructures a contract to pay, I don't know, we'll say 10 million in this year, they can prorate it as a signing bonus across 5 years, so that 10 mil will be separated by 2 mil every year for the next 5 years. So they're still going to pay Mahomes $300 million contract or whatever. Just it's going to get split up over the next 5 years. So they hope he plays the next 5 years, but like if he retires or whatever, that money's still there, getting paid to him.
And like Steve said this, but why would you why would you not do that with every freaking contract if that's the case? Like, and I get that it would compound, but like with your big name players, why wouldn't you just do it like that where there's just less guaranteed and then you just prorate a
Well, and it becomes
signing
a
bonus?
signing bonus too, so they get their money earlier, right?
I know, I feel like it's a win-win, right?
Well, I mean, if he's prorating, yeah, I guess. you can pay him earlier, but the money still comes out in the salary cap. So if they take it as a 50 million signing bonus,
So
they're just gonna
signing
get.
bonus. This is going to be a dumb question potentially, but are signing bonuses independent of salary cap?
I don't think so. I think they're all
I
the
think
same. I don't know. I have
I
no freaking clue.
I think it's separate. So like, if a new player signs a new contract, like fresh, and they have a 50 million signing bonus, I think that 50 million does not affect the cap. I think it's
So
if
why
they
doesn't
Oh,
reach.
every rich owner that cares about winning just
y-
pay everything in signing bonus then?
yeah, exactly.
I
Just
don't
pay
know.
up front.
I'll give you a vet min and I'll give you a $50 million signing bonus and let's roll.
Yeah. I don't know. The salary cap makes zero sense to me. I mean, it's weird because you have two extremes. You have a salary cap, well, obviously basketball and NFL, and then you have baseball where there's no salary cap. And is the discrepancy between the top and the bottom that much different? I guess the Dodgers are an exception right now with what they're doing,
Well,
but
baseball doesn't have a salary cap. They just have a luxury tax.
no, that's what I'm saying. So is the discrepancy, does the salary cap save that much from the teams that are good versus if you have good ownership with a salary cap or a good ownership without a salary cap, is it that much of a difference for those winning organizations and teams?
Yes, look at the Dodgers versus the Rockies. I think the idea of a salary cap is to make everything equal.
Yeah, but
Uh,
you could do the same thing with, I guess it's extreme because of the Dodgers right now, but I'm just saying like the number one team in baseball for many years. I mean the Browns are the epitome of not making the, or the Jets. They haven't made the playoffs since 2010.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could make comparisons where it's not that much of a difference. I mean, if you have bad management, it doesn't matter if there's a cap or not in my
No,
opinion.
I fully agree with that. And I think baseball's argument's always been that like we'll get better people that want to spend the money and make this more competitive, but
I
did,
don't know. I'm not
did
saying get rid of the salary cap. I'm just saying I don't understand it. And if you don't have good ownership, it seems like it doesn't matter if there is a salary cap or not. I
all
mean,
right. So
the Rockies that you just described is a great example of like we're still selling tickets, we're making money, so why the hell would I
well,
change
and you
what I'm
don't have to
doing?
go up against the edge of the salary cap too, which I think you see some owners in football like, yeah, we don't got to spend that money just to spend it. So let's just it's more money in my pocket. So
Yeah.
um, did more research. Salary cap numbers are a combination of salaries and bonuses. So you can't just throw the money at them and nothing happens.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, I think the salary cap's a good thing. I just don't understand it, I guess, is my takeaway from all this.
It's above. It's
I think each NFL team and really any sports organization employs probably like five people that probably like their literally only job is understanding and knowing the salary cap and every move of impacts.
oh
Some of
yeah.
the some of the trades, we're going off on a tangent right here, but some of the trades that people are making now are insane. And I'm going to reference basketball, but the conditional picks are just ludicrous to me because the the NBA has picks where like I'll trade you. I forget exactly who it was, but I'll trade you this player in return. I get your first round pick and then your second round pick next year. But if you're in the top seven next year, then I get your first round pick because that means my
Yeah,
guy did you good, and so
yeah, they
now
have
I
like
get your first
protection
round.
too. Yeah, like because it's lottery based as well. So then
Yeah.
there's like protected
And
picks, and
then,
then
or another thing just happened where it's like, hey, we'll give you our first round pick, but yeah, it's lottery protected. So if we get a lottery pick, then you don't get that.
but those expire. So it just kind of keeps kicking a can down the road too. And then when those happen, like this year's lottery protected, but then the next year might just be like it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I just there's so many like caveats and nuances with trades and stuff now that like we'll give you this pick or this player, but it comes with X, Y, and Z, and it's just super interesting to me. So
I laugh
it's
at NBA versus like NFL. Just speaking of like drafts and picks, NFL, like, there's a lot of teams that like really, really value picks. And NBA, it feels like 90% of teams could care less about a draft pick.
Yeah, you say that, but look at what the OKC's done these last few years through the draft. I mean,
I
and
would
they
agree
still
with
have a
that,
lot of
but
drafts.
they also built that team by trading for SGA, who was a Clipper.
Right. And obviously there's trades as well, but
You
it's
know what I'm
just
saying, though.
yeah, no,
Like
I get what you're
they
saying. I get
struck
what you
gold on a trade and then were able to build around it because they have a boatload of picks.
and I
Boston, the same thing kind of happened, to be honest.
I
Boston
think
kind
the
of got lucky with
Mavericks
their picks.
are doing something similar this year based
They're
on their
trying to tank because
trades.
they just sat Kyrie for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Based on the trades and the moves that they're doing, I think the Mavs are doing the same thing. They're like, we got Cooper Flag, let's get one more of these top tier guys and let's roll.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was talking about Mahomes restructuring his deal.
It all made sense in the end. But sticking in the NFL, where do you think? Where do you guys think the best landing spot is for Kyler Murray?
I think so. I was watching a talk show and or sports talk radio, whatever, and they were talking about the Jets, and I think the Jets actually make sense because John Harbaugh. I mean, not John Harbaugh.
Harbaugh,
Line. Who's
Jim.
No, who's the offensive coordinator for the Jets?
I don't
I
know who it
was
is.
I was thinking of the Giants.
I don't know who it is.
Anyways,
They have
I
trouble
think
getting
that
like anyone.
yeah, I mean I feel like it switches all the time. But they have Justin Fields, but I don't know if Justin Fields the guy. So I think the Jets make sense. Another one that they brought up is the Vikings. And I think the Vikings could be actually a good spot for Kyler Murray because you guys won last year. JJ McCarthy was not the guy, but I have to sit if I make a take, I have to sit on it until it's absolutely done. But I think it might be a good spot because I do think KOC could do wonders with Kyler Murray. I mean, you lock him in to OTAs like he does for Call of Duty drops. I mean, shit, you could have something special.
Yeah, no, I don't want Kyler Murray with the Vikings because KOC does scare me to like be able to take a. He's clearly a talented quarterback. Like he went 1-1. You don't just
Yes.
draft those guys based off nothing. But that does worry me a little bit. I'm gonna say the Vikings have stood out since I feel like this all started. The other one I'm interested in, I don't think it makes a ton of sense, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes back. So Pittsburgh is going to be very needy.
It wouldn't. It really. It's going to be a big first move of the new coaching regime there if they were to do something like that. But the thing that's shitty is Aaron Rodgers is just going to keep stringing him along until the end of summer,
He will.
and he's not going to make a decision. I don't know. Based on his past, he's not going to make a decision till last minute. And I
Yep.
don't know that Kyler Murray will have. I don't know that you'll have that luxury of Kyler Murray waiting around that long in the open market.
I don't know. Could go to the Raiders. Could pick him up and then draft a quarterback and let Mendoza sit.
I would love. I would love him to go to the Raiders. I think. I think there's. I guess I shouldn't say love. I don't think that anything could help that team. They would need like multiple years of first rounders or some massive trades because it was like a dumpster fire. You could tell they didn't even want to be there. Max Crosby was the only one who had any heart, it seemed like, in that organization. The way that he said they literally uh, locked him out of the building to end the season there. It's just, it seems like a tough place to play. So, by all means, go over there, Kyler, because I don't think that's going to change anything over there.
You never know, and we'll see where he lands or how things kind of go as the offseason progresses. But last one, we got Mike Evans said he's going to test the free agent market.
This is another one where when he first said this, another team that popped up right away, same two that we talked about for Tyreek Hill, is the Chiefs and the Bills. I don't love either of those, to be honest, but if he had to go to one of those, I'd prefer him go to the Bills because I think it would be nice for Josh to have a reliable number one who is definitely older in his career, but if he stays healthy, he's your third down guy. I know you have Khalil Shakir as well, but if you have a big body guy like Mike Evans, Josh hasn't really had a big body receiver like that since he's been in the league, and I think it would be a nice change of pace for him to be able to throw jump balls and someone to go to around the end zone who can go up and get it.
Yeah, it would be nice for him. Instead, he's got just little guys. Knowing them, they'll go pick up Tyreek Hill and they'll have three small receivers in Shakir. They'll get Brandon Cooks and
I don't know if
Taylor.
they still do or not. They did last year.
Taylor, I just Googled who the Jets hired as our OC. You stumped us on a trivia question about him early in the early days of the podcast.
is it Frank Wright?
Yeah, exactly. Nice, dude. Nice. You remember.
I do remember seeing that because I saw something that said he's going to be a week 8 interim head coach. That's why they brought him in. So, Jets, look out. You got Frank Wright going to steer the ship for the last 9 weeks of the season. But that's the NFL offseason news this week. Moving down to college basketball, to our basketball expert over here, Steve. Texas Tech had what's his name, tore his ACL.
Yeah, JT Top, and yeah, they had a rough night in Scottsdale. That is for sure. One, they couldn't break a press, and then two, Toppin goes down with 5 minutes to go, tore his ACL out for the year. Everything goes through him. Like, if you were to rank like most valuable players on teams, he's at least a top 5 guy. So I don't know where Tech goes from here, to be honest. They were projected like 3 seed.
They were projected
at Arizona, and now
they
it's tough.
they were
to,
projected to make it to the Final Four.
yeah, it's tough to see them even leaving the first weekend now. In my opinion, I maybe they'll be. Grant McCaslin's a great head coach. Maybe he'll be able to figure something out. But man, you've relied on this kid for 2 years to just be your everything. So that's a tough, less than a month adjustment.
Well, the worst part is too, they knock off Houston, they knock off Arizona, and now they lose to
They
Arizona
knocked
State
off
and
Duke too, right? I think that it's Duke or UConn or
they
they have
beat
like 3 of the best wins in the country. I know that.
they beat Duke,
Duke, that's who it
BYU,
was.
Houston, and Arizona. And
Yeah,
then they did almost, I don't know if you watched that game at Fog, but they
yeah,
almost
they were
knocked
close
off
there.
Kansas.
Yeah,
So yeah, they're gonna struggle a little because after he went out, that team couldn't. I mean, they weren't doing well to begin with.
yeah, they didn't look great anyway. But I mean, even when he went out, he had what 20-10. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't see where it comes from. If, in my personal opinion, for Tech, I feel bad for him. That's you don't want to see that. And before he went down, yeah, I mean they very well could have made a Final Four run slash won it like. And now I really can't see them getting past that first weekend, that second round game.
I mean,
yeah,
they probably don't slip too far, but could you see them getting into a double digit seed if they lose a few of these last few games?
Could I see? No, no. They're locked in at like at least a 6. Like the committee might. hurt them a little bit seed wise based on no more JT Toppin, but like they're not gonna fall like even to like a 8 or a 9. But yeah, you do have to question what that looks like, especially that Saturday Sunday game, depending on which one they play. If they even make it out of the first round, that is.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go. Also, how they play in the Big 12 tournament because it's tough right now. And there's some good teams in it.
The other thing is, in my opinion, like if I played Texas Tech, I would press them. Those guards panicked. I've never seen a 5-second call on a full court inbound pass with 12 minutes to go, but that sure happened. Or a 5-second. I said 5-minute call. I think 5-second call.
Yeah, no, it's wild. And then Sam's breaking news. Was it Sam or was it Steve? Tater Tot Boy
Yeah, Richie
Oh, that's Steve.
Saunders tore his ACL too.
for BYU.
Yep, he's their like spot shooter. So basically, BYU now has
AJ Upon.
Debanza and Robert Wright. Who Debanza I think had 33 of BYU's 68 tonight against Arizona. So he'll be. I mean, he's already kind of been their do-it-all guy, but now you lose a big spot shooter slash a guy that can kind of like. It makes it hard to leave Richie Saunders to give Debanza more room to kind of move freely. So you lose that pretty massively.
Yeah, tough for them. Side note: this Utah State Boise State game is terrible. Boise State on like a 6-minute scoring drought or something.
Don't love to see that.
Don't love to see it. But Michigan, do we think they're a number one overall seed?
The winner of Duke Michigan will be locked into a 1 seed. I won't be willing to say they're the number 1 overall seed, but they will be locked into a 1 seed on the bracket.
So who would be your who's your top 4, I guess, your top 1 seeds? Houston.
Right now, I would probably say Michigan, Arizona, Duke. UConn just lost tonight. Oh, Iowa State probably. They just had a big win against Houston. But keep in mind, Arizona plays Houston on Saturday, so that could be a big flip-flop of a 1 seed as well. But I think the winner of Duke Michigan play in DC on Saturday, I think the winner of that game locks up a 1 overall seed. Not the number 1 overall seed, but a 1 seed in the bracket. Unless they have a really, really bad loss, that is.
Do you think Purdue could jump up into it?
No, not really, to be honest. I mean, I guess if they ran through the Big Ten tournament, they could, but I don't see that happening. Purdue has not looked great this year, if we're being honest. They rely a lot on Braden Smith to do a lot of things. And I know they're 21-5, so you're probably sitting there like, what are you talking about? I think Illinois has a better shot than Purdue does. I think Illinois is very, very good, and they just got Kylan Boswell back, so he'll help them a lot. I have a future on Illinois, so I'm also a little biased.
I mean, I got a future on Michigan State, but I'm a realist here. It depends on which Michigan State team shows up.
Ooh, real fast. Did you see the Mick Cronin rant last night?
No.
About the student section?
Yeah, the question. Oh
yeah,
my God,
a reporter asked him what he thought about the zone, and then he was like, "I don't give a f about the students or whatever."
He said, "I don't give a rat's ass," and then the reporter and then he goes, "Congratulations, yeah, that's the dumbest question I've ever been asked. You just got a medal or something for it." And the guy's like, "I'll take it." And then Mick Cronin's like, "Oh, I bet you will take it." And then the guy like starts saying something. He's like, "You raising your voice at me? Huh?"
It's it's so dumb.
And then Mick Cronin, there was a UCLA player like try to chase down block with I don't know like 2.5 minutes to go
Oh
that
yeah.
resulted in a flagrant foul, and Mick Cronin just kicked him out of the floor, like made him go to the locker room, and Izzo's like, well, I guess Mick upgraded that to a flagrant too.
Yeah, I think he was the classic. I don't know. I mean, when you're up third, like 20-30, of course Izzo's gonna be happy about that.
Yeah, Mick Cronin's also an all-time loser. I don't know. He's so good for college basketball in the sense of yeah, the clips are just so funny, but
Yeah. UCLA is on a struggle right now.
yeah, I didn't they just extend him too, like
Yeah, and
before the year, which made no sense because he hasn't been winning anyway.
it was like the first like UCLA has the most 30-point losses
Dude, they're bad. Yeah.
ever or something since like 2014, which is crazy. Um, but it's tough out here for UCLA. Which
I mean, it
they're
makes
still
sense. Like with NIL, if you think about it, California taxes are already so high, and then where UCLA's campuses is like the most expensive zip code in the country. So your money is just I don't know. I don't know if it's a factor or not, but I know they're not competing like UCLA thinks they should.
I feel like for basketball with the NIL, it's a little different because like you can have people going to the middle of nowhere to get paid a lot because it's a good basketball program,
Hmm.
as opposed to like football where some like nicer areas typically get you better players kind of thing. But I mean, basketball is so wide open. It's just if you have money or you have donors or whatever.
Do you think, talking about the bracket, do you think the Mountain West, do you think New Mexico has played themselves out?
Dude, I think right now the only team that's a for sure is Utah State. San Diego State had a tough loss last night in the Viejas to Grand Canyon that did not help them at all. And I just I don't think New Mexico would be in right now.
So you think the Mountain West might slip to a one bid team unless someone else wins the Mountain West
I
tournament?
I think someone else is going to have to win the Mountain West tournament to get in. Right currently as of right now, I do think we're a one bid league.
Now here's another thing. Do you think Utah State wins the Mountain West tournament? Because I don't.
I don't
Okay. It's gonna be the Pokes. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Dude, to be honest, it's pretty wide open. Like
I
there's
agree.
nights I've watched Grand Canyon play where I'm like, this team could easily go in and win the Mountain West tournament. I think that about New Mexico. I think that about San Diego State. Boise State went into the pit and beat them by 20.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's fairly wide open in the Mountain West. Do I think Utah State is the best team? Yes, I do. Could I see them easily getting beat? Yes, I could.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think it's anyone's to win. I keep talking. I don't know who I keep telling, but I'm like, not trying to boast Wyoming, but any of these lower teams can just go on a run and go
With
win
the
the
way that
Mountain West.
Wyoming's been shooting, I mean, they legitimately could hang with anyone. Now, they got to lock up on defense a little bit. They have to have a post presence
They'll get
because
Gavin Gores back, though, which will at least give him a bigger body down low. Right now, they're hurting down low a little bit, but he's been pretty decent as a freshman, so.
100%. And he gets the crowd into it with some of those dunks he throws down too. So I think getting some momentum with him, he's pretty good at swinging momentum as well. But I agree with you, Taylor. I wouldn't be shocked with any of these teams. I hate to say it, but if
Yeah,
CSU
Air
shoots
Force.
like if CSU shoots the way that they can, I mean, for a while to start coming into conference play, they were like the number 4 3-point shooting team in the nation or something. and then they just
Yeah.
have fallen off a cliff. I don't think that that's going to happen the way that I've seen them, but they lit Wyoming up in the last 10 minutes of the game on Saturday to come back
Wyoming
and
also
win.
missed 15 of their last 16 shots to not help that case by any means.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you let CSU go on a 32-2 run or whatever it was, that gets pretty ugly pretty quick. But honestly, I agree with you. There's a lot of these teams I wouldn't be surprised if they can pull off a victory in the Mountain West Championship. Boise State looked very good at the pit, and
Oh,
they've
boys, I think they won by like 24. It was
yeah.
a ass kicking.
Well, they
Yeah,
don't look
no.
good tonight.
Um, I there's 12 teams in the Mountain West now. Realistically, not realistically, that's probably not a great way to say that, but like would I be like that surprised if you told me like one of the 1 through 10 made a run a little bit? No, not at all.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we can count out Fresno State and Air Force probably.
Air Force is pretty bad.
Air
They're
Force
they're
is
always
really bad.
they're always bad. It seems like.
They had I kind of feel bad for them. They had a little bit. They had Petritis and then Jake Heidbrenner, who's actually at Fresno State now, and they were like competitive and looked decent. But um, Petritis transferred to Cal and Heidbrenner transferred to Clemson, and then Fresno. They just can't keep people, and they don't have NIL, and they can't take transfers. So you're kind of, I don't know, you're kind of at a loss.
Yeah, wild for them to transfer out of Air Force when you have to go through so much to get into it.
I think you have through your sophomore year to do it.
Yeah, crazy, crazy. Nebraska's finally coming back down to earth.
Yes, they are, but they are still good, though. I want to preface that.
Yeah. Well, the Big Ten is just crazy. There's so many teams. That's another one that I think anyone could win for the most. Like that's
Let's like I'm with same with like the Mountain West. How you we're like eliminating those bottom tier. Like Oregon's not gonna win it.
no, but now
Who's the
everyone
other like real bottom feed?
everyone
Rutgers.
makes the team. It makes the tournament now. So there's 18 teams, and
Yeah, but
Northwestern.
Northwestern is a little feisty at least. Oregon's just bad, bad.
Steve, how about your Badgers this year, dude?
They were starting to figure it out until they played Ohio State last night.
yeah,
But Ohio State kind of needed a big win, so they were hungrier Badgers, Sam.
They've looked all right this year, and I don't know. I think the Big Ten. I agree with you, Taylor. I think there's many teams that could win this thing based on the teams that I've watched. I think Illinois and um, Michigan are the top two that I've seen, but I haven't seen too much USC or Maryland or any of those teams. Are they
USC.
decent?
USC's
Maryland's
not.
not great.
USC's not great either.
Yeah, USC's starting to, I wouldn't say play better, but Gilbert Arenas kid,
Purdue. Sorry, I forgot
he's
Purdue.
came
Purdue.
back and he's playing pretty well.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, I think Nebraska's up there technically in the Big Ten. So is Michigan State, top five at least. But it's tough. I mean, it's just a conference that everybody beats up on each other. Speaking of another one that beats up on each other is the Florida's making a run at the SEC right now. They're
This
playing hot.
conference is like kind of bad though. Like
Yeah.
I don't. You're right. They do beat like even Alabama just beat Arkansas. So now you have like I know Florida leads it, and then you have I think like four teams right there at like 9-4, 8-4, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, I think because the SEC got 15 teams last year, 14
Something
teams.
crazy.
It
Yeah.
was something unbelievable. So I don't know, they're just down this year from what that was. And even their like top, they're not like crazy top heavy, but they're like decent. Like they have teams that still scare you a little bit, but they're not viewed as the best quality by any means.
That Alabama Arkansas game is one of the better college basketball games I've seen in a really long time.
It was a good one, yeah.
It was super
Very,
exciting.
very high scoring.
Yeah,
Fast
I mean that
paced,
over
high
under to
scoring.
start was 182 and a half, and that was
A-
before double overtime.
Athletes. They play fun basketball, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. They don't play a lot of defense, I'll tell you that.
Um, but yeah, that's college basketball right now. Ever changing, getting closer to March Madness. Last but not least, we'll do a little Olympic recap. We have the U.S. women's hockey team in the finals tomorrow versus Canada. I think the spread
2.5.
2.5.
At least that's what it was
No,
earlier
oh,
today.
it is 1.5 right now.
Oh, it got bet down.
Got bet down.
I got 2.5 at plus money. I think I got it at plus like 114 or something like that.
I could probably move that line to 2.5. 2.5 would be plus 115.
They already beat Canada in the prelims 5-0,
Yeah.
so I'm just banking on that.
And this women's Canada team is not great. This U.S. women's team is really good.
They have 5 straight shutouts. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I've been riding them the whole tournament, so they made me pretty good money. The men today, they won, but didn't cover.
We've
I
all
thought
been
one.
sitting here waiting for a U.S. Canada rematch from Four Nations, and we about got an elimination of U.S. Canada.
I know it
They
was
both,
wild.
actually, Canada probably was a little more scary because they actually had to score late to even send it to overtime. Um, but yeah, it was almost a catastrophe.
Honestly, would have loved it. Would have been a easier route for the U.S.
No, I
But
agree, but I'm saying the U.S. was almost a catastrophe too because they
oh
got
yeah, that
scored
too.
on late.
That game, I don't know if you watched it a lot, but U.S. didn't look as dominant as they have all the whole tournament. But they were playing worse teams, but I don't know. They just didn't look like themselves to me. I think
Yeah,
having that extra day was of rest might have hurt them. I don't know, but they'll play Friday against. Uh, I should know this. I will get in about 2 seconds. They'll play against Slovakia, which is a favorable matchup for them, I think. Better than Finland. But that one should be another lock in. But yeah, and then I don't know if anyone's been watching curling lately. It's probably my favorite sport to watch, but the U.S. teams have been. They were looking good, then they've been struggling. I don't think they're going to qualify for the semis or whatever it is, the top 4 teams of each. Which
don't
is
like to hear that.
nope. I wouldn't say curling is our strong suit. Besides that
What?
1 year we
Okay,
won
what
gold.
has been our strong suit in the Olympics outside of hockey? Because it feels like we haven't been doing very well.
The Winter Olympics, I don't know. Every time I look at the leaderboard, I mean, I feel like we've on sheer number and volume we've won a few, but even like some of the freestyle stuff that we used to like dominate at is now like Japan and China are doing really good at freestyle snowboarding, skiing. The New Zealand, a lot of these other countries, Australia, are really stepping up in the. Oh, did you guys see the dual moguls? That is the
Yeah.
craziest event I've ever seen. That
Yeah,
was chaos. Literally, it's just first one through the finish line moves on, and that was chaos. I
yeah.
mean, those guys are going so fast down those moguls, and then going off the jump. That guy who got out of control and then flipped upside down and then had the agility of a cat to land on his feet. I mean,
And go backwards.
and go
Finish backwards.
backwards.
That's
Dude,
great. That was
that was
crazy.
incredible. I was
I
like,
also
I was on the edge of my seat watching that event.
I
That was
also just
fun.
love how, like you said, it's first one through the gate, but yet like when they hit the jump, they're all still doing these like big tricks. I'm like, I would hit that jump straight up and straight down, and they're like backflip, like style points count or something, you know?
It's crazy, dude. That one is insane. The other event that's brand new is that ski mountaineering.
That is
That
crazy.
looks
Those
like the
people are in
most
such good shape.
that looks like the most miserable sport ever. They literally skin up the mountain, then they throw their skis on their back, hike up even further, then they skin up even maybe a little bit further, and then they finally rip their skins off and ski down the mountain. It looks incredibly difficult.
My brother-in-law, he went to college with a guy that's in that event, and I'm like, that guy's got to be insane.
It looks like maybe it's I don't even know. I don't even know how you get into that. There's ski lifts for that. Why would you want to ski up the mountain?
Tow
Some people
ropes,
like
snow
cross-country skiing.
machines, like
Oh, I'm not bashing on them. I'm envious that they have the willpower to do stuff
no,
like
I'm
that.
bashing him. You're a psychopath in the head.
That's what I think about skeleton when people are doing skeleton.
Yeah, how do people get into that?
You know, I've I started to find out that like skeleton and luge are people who've only been doing it for like 3 or 4 years.
Okay, here's my other question on that. There's got to be what, like 3 tracks in the country?
No, I don't know. I think there's a lot of training facilities, but yeah, I mean a
Really?
lot of teams
I
come.
heard I heard that there was only like 15 in the world and like 8 of them are in Germany.
So you just go live in Germany and practice that?
Well, I
Maybe
know there's
the
one in
Germans
Salt
are
Lake.
the Germans are
But that's
dominating
probably just because the Olympics were there and they built it.
Well, the U.S. has a training facility
for this. I'm sure
for
they do.
yeah.
I'm not saying they don't, but I don't think they're all over the place. I don't think
No,
if I'm like, hey, I want to go, session some luge. Like those guys, luge and skeleton. I think honestly, Steve, it's people who really like sledding.
I love that.
They excelled at sledding when they were kids, and they loved. Most of us, when it gets icy and it gets hairy on those mountains and you get humming down, like most of us bail off. Not these people. They go head first right into
Dude,
the
that
parking
is
lot.
just bananas, Leah. I don't know. These people, they're also a little crazy in the head.
It's terrifying. It's just a sheet of ice, dude. I saw some videos of watching them like prepare it, and they literally have to like spray a small layer because if you do too much, it's so steep that you can only do like a small layer, then another small layer, then another small layer, and those edges are so perfectly angled and everything around the bends. And the funniest thing about luge and skeleton is when I'm watching it, they all like similar to what Taylor was saying, maybe, I don't know, but it seems like if you stay on the sled, then you're going to get about the same time as everyone else because it seems like even when people smash into the walls, they're only off by like, a tenth of a second from the
Yeah.
first place people. That's why you need to get some heavier people on it. That's what I think.
You
have
may lose
you?
the running speed at the beginning, but by golly, inertia is going to take over.
I don't know if you guys have seen Jason Kelsey go try bobsledding.
Uh-uh.
It's crazy. You gotta
No.
go watch it. It's
Does
on
he even
YouTube.
fit in the bobsled?
Yeah, he fits in it, and like they send him on a run, and like it just looks pure chaos from his like camera, how fast he's going, because they're going like 80 to 90 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
they haul. What position was he, like the one?
No,
Or,
they put him in the third position, so he wasn't driving or braking,
or
because
running and having to hop in
no,
at the
so
end?
what they did is they trained him how to do all the running and everything, but they had him sit down and then they had other people push him so he didn't have to like jump in because that's a process
I'm sure it is.
itself. So they they gave him like the training stuff, but then they like sat him and pushed him down. So he probably wasn't going. I mean, he was still going. He was cooking, but he wasn't cooking probably as fast as maybe like 3 or 4 miles less. But I mean, one of the guys in front of him was, I think, bigger than him, like taller and stockier. So I don't really know. The Olympics are wild. The Winter Olympics are wild. I think we dominate more in the summer.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought we were struggling this one, and so I went back and looked at the last ones, and it was about the same. So there's also just a lot less events, so I think it feels like we win a lot more in the.
I mean, there's just, yeah, I agree with you because there's like a million different versions of running and all the other things in the summer and jumping and
swimming. Yeah,
all of these are. I mean, some of the events are just like the biathlon where you're cross country skiing and then you're like shooting at targets and then you cross country ski some more. Like, how do you come up with some of these events? It doesn't.
I think
and
someone watched like James Bond movie or something and was like,
oh, yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense because some of the events I'm like, how do you even think about doing these, combining these two things together? Cross country skiing and shooting a gun, or ski mountaineering, like that's going to be a chaotic event. I feel like I haven't seen it. I've just heard them talking about it, but climbing up the mountain and then basically skiing a slalom course back down the mountain seems like just absolute chaos, right? Because some people are still going to be going up.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Olympics are wild. Wild, but we love to watch them. Well, that wraps up another episode of Audibles and Airballs. We hope you enjoyed the latest sports highlights, in-depth breakdowns, a little bit of everything in between. If you're as passionate about sports as we are, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to leave us a review. Really helps us out. If you got a burning question, favorite team to shout out, you want to talk about some Olympics or college basketball, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you can find us at Audibles and Airballs. We love hearing from you guys. Steve loves debating with you guys. So please comment. Please say some hot takes. Or smart takes. I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Don't roast us about our salary cap. I won't know how to reply to that.
Yeah, don't talk about salary cap. We're learning as you are. But thanks for hanging out with us. Keep cheering, keep debating, and most importantly, keep the love of the game alive. Until next time, this is Audibles and Airballs. See ya.